Zoie screamed at the top of her lungs, unable to hold the excitement back. Oh my God. I got in. Stanford. I'm going to Stanford. Dad clearly said nowhere further than 50 miles from here, Xander reminded her. For the last 18 years, that was how she lived her life. So, when the chance to go away for college came around, Zoie was desperate for a change. Even though they were living in an affluent neighborhood in New Jersey and there were plenty of good schools on the East Coast, she only had her eyes on one school, Stanford in California. Thousands of miles away from here. You're not going to Stanford, Damon said firmly as soon as Zoie mentioned the fact that she got into Stanford. We've talked about this. My answer is no, and that's final. California's too far away. Maybe we can send someone with her, Violet suggested. I have someone in mind, he said finally, sounding very secretive. You'll see, Uncle Damon. Asher beamed into the phone. Not too bad, I can't complain. But listen, I need to ask you a favor. Well, it's kind of a big ask. I can't tell you all details on the phone. Can you come home? Right now? It's kind of an emergency. Asher paused for a beat before saying, sure. I'll be there. The music was loud and pumping as Zoie entered the club. Zoe's heart was beating to the beat of the music as she stepped toward the dance floor. Manhattan was only a half-hour away and no one would recognize her here. 12 o'clock. He's totally checking you out, Brianna nudged her in a direction. He's been staring at you ever since you walked in. Zoie turned her eyes to the bar where a tall, handsome stranger was looking in her direction. He had dark, dirty blonde hair, eyes that were deep hazel, a jaw so chiseled and sharp, and he was wearing this cool leather jacket and ripped jeans. Asher didn't mean to stay in the club for too long. But just as he was about to leave, he saw this girl walking into the club. This girl was maybe 5 feet 4 inches. She had jet black hair and the most mesmerizing eyes he'd ever seen. It was this bluish, purplish color. Asher stood at an arm's length away and waited. Her friend noticed him first, and finally, she turned around. Hey, he said finally, locking his eyes with hers. Do I know you from somewhere? No, she shook her head. Asher narrowed his eyes at her. 8M. My bad, he said, stifling out a laugh before walking past her. Are you not gonna get me a drink? But just before he was about to leave, he heard a voice. He looked up to see the girl with blue and purple eyes standing in front of him. You already got one, Asher said, motioning to the glass of martini in her hand. Finally, Asher took a step forward and closed the distance between them. What's a girl like you doing in a place like this? He asked, staring deeply into her eyes. I saw the student ID in your wallet. You're still a high school student. The girl let out a shocked gasp and pulled away instantly. Wrong. I just graduated, she argued. Alright then, he said as he grabbed the drink in her hand. He chugged it in one swift move before putting the empty glass back in her hand. See you around. Hey. That was my drink. He heard her yell, but he just kept walking away. Lucas. Hey. Brianna exclaimed and threw her arms open, pulling him into a hug. Standing before them was Lucas James Sterling, one of the most, if not the most popular guy in Vanderbilt High School. Here you go. 1 peach martini, extra peachy, Lucas said finally, giving her the last drink. Thank you, she said politely, taking the drink from his hand. The 2 glasses made a clinking noise and Zoie brought her drink close to her mouth. But before she could even get a sip of her peach martini, someone came into her periphery and swatted the glass across her face. The glass came tumbling down in a frenzy, splashing and shattering on the floor. Zoie looked up to see the strange guy from before standing in front of her. He let out a small smirk before turning around to face Lucas, and before anyone could say peach martini, the guy swung his fist across Lucas's face. Lucas came tumbling down in one punch. He was knocked out cold. Oh my God. What the hell is your problem? Zoie yelled, pushing the strange guy away. The guy didn't budge no matter how hard Zoie punched and pushed. He simply bent down and reached for something inside Lucas's suit pocket. and to her absolute surprise, he pulled out a small bag with white pills inside. Roofies, the stranger explained, tossing the bag at Zoie. Zoie grabbed the bag of pills and horror filled her face. Hey! In the midst of the chaos, suddenly Zoie heard a voice and saw a hand being stretched out. She looked up to see the handsome stranger that punched Lucas in the face. "You okay?" he asked. "Can you get me out of here?" she croaked. "Please?" Without wasting any more time, the stranger nodded his head and grabbed her by the hand. They raced out of the club as fast as humanly possible as he led her through the back door. Before she could change her mind, she haphazardly put the helmet on her head, jumped onto the back of that motorcycle, and held on for dear life. The stranger walked in front of her and she was a few steps behind. He went to flip a switch on the wall and the whole warehouse was filled with fluorescent white light. He threw his leather jacket to the workbench and revealed the sleeveless wife beater he was wearing. Zoie could see his rock-hard muscles and the sleeve of tattoos running down his arm. She stammered. "I just wanna say thank you for what you did." "Is that it?" he said as he stood up straighter, tossing the dirty towel to the ground. "A thank you's all I got." The stranger started moving closer and Zoie stepped back instinctively. And finally, she hit one of the parked cars and she couldn't move back anymore. "I just saved you from T and those guards," he said as he put his arms out, leaning against the car and trapping her in place. "What are you gonna give me in return? How about a kiss?" The stranger kept his eyes locked on hers for the longest time. Zoie couldn't even breathe. She just watched in terror and anticipation as he leaned closer and closer. And finally, he stopped when their lips were only an inch away from each other. "Huh. I'm just playing with you." The stranger let out a wild laugh as he suddenly pulled away. "So, you gonna call an Uber or do you need me to take you home somewhere?" he said as he threw the empty bottles into the trash. "Do you want me to go?" she asked back. The stranger thought for a moment before saying, "No, but I think you should." "Why?" "Because your parents are probably looking for you." "No one's looking for me." The stranger strode closer and stood right in front of her, his face hovering above her face. "Are you saying you wanna stay?" he asked challengingly. "I'm saying I don't wanna leave just yet," she replied. "Why?" she asked. "You don't wanna make a move on me?" "No," he said coldly, ripping her heart to shreds. "Why not?" she pressed. "Because I don't think you can handle it." "What's that supposed to mean?" Zoie narrowed her eyes at him, but he just gave out a smile. "I don't know who you think you are and who you think I am, but I'm a big girl and I can handle myself, thank you very much." "Okay, then," he said suddenly, closing the distance between their bodies. Zoie was standing flush against the car and he was right in front of her. He reached for her wrists and uncrossed her arms from her chest. Then he pinned her wrists back against the car's window. "You're not gonna regret this, are you?" he whispered lowly into her ear. "Little girl." And that was it. Something exploded inside of Zoie and she lost all sense of decency and control. Before she could change her mind, she grabbed him by his neck, stood up straight, and crashed her lips onto his.